Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. This video is a FLidica PvP showcase video, mainly focused on Guild War and Arena showcase, all the way to Legend. Although the clips in the Legend is preseason Legend, so it doesn't really reflect exactly like the sweatiness or the gear level. Like most of the top Legend players, they took a break once the season was over, so it won't really reflect it, but hopefully you guys do enjoy it. So first things first, let's show the stats. And of course, if you guys watch my videos on YouTube, you know when I pulled FLidica, I think I got her pretty quick in terms of Mystic this time, so I got lucky. I've been using her a lot, and been liking using cleave comps ever since I got Aux Lots, thankfully for the Champion Zerato nerf. And then you get the recall and, like, you know, exchange or whatever, the selector. So this is my FLidica at the moment, and I am leveling up her friendship. As you see, it's level 9. I am waiting for that until I get my cooldown. I don't know if I want to invest in this. This is good, realistically speaking, but I have too many heroes I want to mola, and I don't feel that I need the cooldown in most fights. But ideally I want to get it. So I think once I'm level 10, I'll go for the -1 cooldown there. I have a 9% effectiveness. Finally got another FLidica. Here are the stats. In the showcase video and all the fights, I actually never had the imprint here, so I would really be like this. So my effectiveness is actually really low. 126 is very low. The only good thing is that she can soul burn to guarantee the to ignore resist for the skill null and the skill reset. So very nice, very nice. This showcase is obviously not, it's not like a, you know, most players watching this, you know, FLidica is really good, right? Yeah, they got cleaved by her in RTA and just like, what the frick, what happened? Like, I didn't even get a turn, you're already dead. Or you just know, you played the game long enough, you have FLidica yourself, you know how good she is. So, you know, I don't have to go through why she's so good, but like really CR boost on how many targets you hit. You can use a Wall of Order now. I'll talk about the artifacts in a bit actually. And then also 5% per target for your other allies, so up like a very high, a decent CR booster for the entire team. And then you have skill nullifier, which is a new thing after the devs decided that she needed a buff. Makes her way more OP, but ignore effect, resist soul burn if you need it, or otherwise it just resets the cooldown to the max. So all skills, so skill cooldowning it on like someone like a Dark Corvus, something on a Ruel is very detrimental to those type of heroes because they have a very long cooldown cycle. And in the S1, up to a 75% decrease hit chance, which is also very good, since she really plays a supportive CR boosting, so opener, enabler, so she enables other heroes, and then she's also just a supportive hero in general, so having that hit chance down is really good. That and attack break are probably like the two best ones. Silence and unbuffable and stuff like that become like way different, but hit down is very nice. So yeah, again, those are the stats there. 289 speed, as a lot of people wanted to know. What's your speed of your FLidica? Showcased here. I am on a crit rate neck, so the 100% crit chance was easier to obtain. The sword needs an upgrade. I don't know if she needs a lot of health. Like if she could build a beefy, that'd be great. In my opinion, I would want more effectiveness for the way I'm using her. I'm trying to get my first 20 plus sword. Never gotten one. 18 is the max I've gotten in terms of speed. This is my 21 speed helmet here on heroic, very nice. 22 speed on this one. It doesn't have like a lot of the good stats. Like it'd be perfect if I got like effectiveness somewhere splashed in there, but it is what it is. Especially when you're chasing speed gear, you don't get picky, right? The first things first for high speed is just like, if you have the speed, you're already doing half the work. Effectiveness is of course the next thing, so 19 speed here. So I should get I gotta aim for getting a 20 speed plus ring as well. So 19 is also where I'm capped at right now. And then this one just for the effectiveness, a 23 with the crit chance. I do need this, otherwise I will fall a bit short on the crit rate. I'll show here. A crit rate of course needs to be 100%. The skill null is just too much in case you don't fight a dark elemental hero on the team. So I'm just gonna show one that's a speed boot and just effect. I think it was my Broman one. Yeah, this one has no crit rate. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm literally like on the line of like not having enough crit chance. So remove 11 here, I have 5, but then if I get a weapon with higher speed but no crit chance, that's 10 right there. I might need to find it somewhere else. So it's kind of like hard to move my gear. I will say that sometimes I do. This was my old Aux Lots gear, like pretty much all of it. But FLidica is slightly better, so I use that. I put all the gear on her. In terms of like really hard Guild War fights where I have to use an Aux Lots to cleave, then I do strip, I think, 4 of the pieces here. I think this one, this one. I do strip those for Aux Lots, since my Aux Lots at the moment has just as fast of a ring, but it's an attack ring. And then the boot, of course, you don't need to change it. Artifact wise, Sasha Thane is always really good as long as you can get the kill. Very good turn cycling. You will see in my showcase that it kicks in certain fights. Ms. Confile, also a very good one. I do have 2 copies of Confile. If I max enhance the other one, I do believe it's like under 50%. I think it's still here somewhere. I kept 2. I don't have it yet, but I think, yeah, I think if you max it to the level 6, so plus 15, I do think it's like right under 50%. Ms. Confile is a really good artifact. Again, I'm not like a Omega whale. I didn't pull till max limit broke. I wish I could. And then now with the buffs announced for Guiding Light. Guiding Light is going to be one of the best ones on FLidica, especially if you can't build a really fast one, since it enables stealth on the first turn, and that, in my opinion, is just super OP. I think most ranges, especially supportive ones, will run this by a default, and even if you don't have a max limit broken one, it's still like, it's a 50% chance you get a stealth. It's still better than nothing. But the very fact that you start off the battle with stealth, it means that they're super protected. So unless you're contending for speed against like someone like a Broman or Basar that they do AoE, if it's like an Assassin Sid, Assassin Kali, I don't know, Remnant Violet's sometimes going to go really fast now too. Anyone is like a single target speedy type of opener or nuker, Guiding Light's going to be one of the best. So you will see Guiding Light used in my showcase as well, although this is pre-buff, or it is before the buff. It wouldn't have changed the fights for my clips if Guiding Light had the buff though, since I assumed my FLidica would go first turn. But now with that dynamic in, I might think about maybe making my FLidica slightly slower. I'm not quite sure though. Probably not. Wall of Order is also a really good one. Again, these are all limited artifacts, by the way. So if you're a newer player and you're looking at this and you just got FLidica and you look at this build video, just like, all right, these are the artifacts I need. And if you miss these banners, then it's kind of bad. Wall of Order, I explained in, as you guys will see, if you do attack that targets all enemies, increase the combat range of the cast by 10%. So in a Guild War fight, because you are lacking 1 target for FLidica's CR boost, but it's an AoE skill, you get another 10% CR boost. So this kind of makes up for not having another target. This is what I've used Wall of Order for, if I needed that, of course. And so yeah, those are probably the ones I would usually go with. Wall of Order, Ms. Confile, Guiding Light, and then Sasha Thanes if I am doing like heavy cleave damage, so I know I can kill the targets. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my my intro to FLidica. Again, she's very good. You guys will see like how many heroes I pair up with her. Recently, I like using Pavel as my primary cleaver, but I'm going to save that for his own showcase video, so you guys won't even see any of those fights in this video. But hopefully this will give you some ideas, and yeah, on your, not on just your build, but really like on your team comps. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Alright, so we'll start off with some GVG. So here you see my FLidica level 51. It's like right when I got her. Haven't even leveled her. I just put on my fastest gear, and this was against like one of the top Chinese guilds in the game, and you guys will see me use FLidica a lot. Or actually, by the time you see this video in my chronology of uploaded videos, then I have used FLidica a lot, but here's the showcase. So yeah, yeah, level 51 FLidica, just to show like how actually absolutely broken she is. An opener doesn't even need to be level 60 really, but if you're using FLidica in like higher end fights, yeah, you definitely need the level 60 just for the stats. Guiding Light on FLidica, which at the point of this video, there's a Guiding Light buff soon to come. So yeah, this is gonna change up the dynamic a lot. Guiding Light's gonna be one of the best limited artifacts in the game. especially for Rangers. And Rangers right now are getting they're kind of meta. A lot of really usable Rangers in all sorts of PvP. FLidica of course being one. Cerise also getting a buff. But when I was making the video I didn't know about it, but Guiding Light is just nice to have. Mine's not maxed. So you see all the proc right here is about a 50% proc. That was a miss on the Kayron, but Aliha's knife cut through with an attack buff. This is a bit scuffed fight here. I gotta strip that attack buff. Skill null and having that Guiding Light. This stealth means damage mitigation. Skill null.
This is hard.
The second one, again you see another FLidica. This one really just a double CR push and getting attack buff into Spec 10. Everything else is relatively safe.
You want to try me?
I have the Monarch artifact on Rose for extra barrier.
You aren't even fit to kiss my
Talcall's Ancient Book on her.
There's no escape.
Again, in this showcase is really just to show the flexibility of FLidica, of course. I mean, we'll always see some really cool cleave comps with FLidica. CDOM is going to be a primary partner. But this showcase is mainly focused on just like, you know, how absolutely worth building she is. Now, of course, you know, like I said, speed gear is a big thing in this. But with unless you're contending versus like speed versus AoE like a Broman or whatever, you won't need the fastest gear anymore with Guiding Light's buff coming out. Again, Guiding Light used down here there. It's really more or less for the damage mitigation. I really like that. I wish I pulled multiple copies. Now, I mean, it kind of sucks. They always buff it after the fact.
Stretch my muscles a bit. The honor of victory.
So I just keep the FLidica alive because she has a lot of turn cycling. So the thick barrier from Rose. Blue Rose is always a really good one as well. You'll see at least I use her once in the arena showcase as well.
Are you here to capture me?
This one's slightly a bit risky. Not much CR boost, but my Melissa is decently fast. This turn cycling was not ideal. My Emma Angelica was supposed to be going first, so I'm doing a lot more damage, a lot less damage. They're about only 5 speed apart though, so that's my bad. But I kind of gambled it.
I hate darkness.
If you guys watch my Guild War videos, you would have seen this fight anyway. This would be recognizable. I do have a lot of other FLidica Guild Wars now because I use it as my primary. I use Aux Lots and FLidica a lot, so it's like you'll probably see more or less some of these. That's why I'm not gonna focus a lot about Guild War.
Can you handle this?
But I just wanted to show like different comps in Guild War here. As you see, I'm using like different heroes with FLidica.
What a waste of time.
This is pretty easy. It was a DPS RB, not tank RB. Celestine on Singelica on this fight.
My life is my own.
This is Dreamer Blitz. Also on the same Guild War. You guys would have seen this again if you have watched that Guild War. But Blitzed, another shout out. Blitzed! Blitzed! Again. Now the speed tuning is slightly proper. The RB is a 200 speed RB for this fight, just so I could get the turn.
This is hard.
FLidica for CR boost on Guild War is not as good unless you have Wall of Order. Wall of Order is Landy's limited artifact, gives you a 10% CR boost on AoE. So your FLidica gets more boost. Like if you need that, Wall of Order is a decent one as well. Credit and shout out to one of the YouTube comments when I first used FLidica in my first Guild War. They're like, use Wall of Order, it's really good for GVG. I was like, oh man, this guy's smart. It's an extra 10 because you'll be missing one hit in Arena 4, so you get a bit more CR boost. Now we're gonna go into some arena fights. Now arena fights, some of them are gonna be really scuffed, but again, just to showcase the flexibility of different heroes. This Broman actually was pretty fast. My Rose almost didn't cut there. But the double boost with AoE attack buff is really good. I didn't strip the barrier, sadly, on the T-Siren. It would have been helpful. This first showcase would probably be a bit rough. And as I'm doing these like videos, they're not rehearsed. It's like, you can see me like hesitate on what skill I should do. It's like the first time taking on these teams from that player with my heroes. I wasn't even sure if it works. I just had to think like conceptually, like, does it actually work? And you'll see. This one's slightly scuffed. I definitely have a better way to take out this kind of comp now. I won't reveal it here because it will be part of my Pavel showcase video. So I mean, the Pavel I guess would ruin the surprise. But yeah, here in this FLidica showcase is really just going to show like all the different types of comps I played around with FLidica as I was leveling her. You see here, she's right in here as level 53. So if you're watching this video in progression, I'm literally leveling her like no penguins. I'm literally like bringing her to, you know, farm catalyst as I'm getting her catalyst with like the experience artifact and stuff like that. So just like really like not using a lot of my resources. But again, I thought about FLidica for her showcase. She doesn't really need to be max level to really showcase what she can do, since really again she's an enabler, an opener for everyone else. So as the video progresses, you will see the level change. Yeah, so this was pretty scuffed here. I was like, okay. I wasn't even gonna really showcase this, but I mean, this is the reality of showcase videos. A lot of showcase videos, I know that they're gonna, you know, stitch together the best fights. And ideally, like, that is the best way to go if you really want to sell a hero. But I also do like to show like my ints and stuff, so you guys know like what is realistic, right? Like if I'm promoting a comp, a team comp, you guys want to see where it fails, right? I think also for the content, I guess. Blaze Dingo here did really well because of the invincibility buff, and he will never lose to Rowana since he heals himself as well.
Will you fight me? Goodbye.
If you guys have seen my Blaze Dingo showcase, I did use him separately without FLidica. So once FLidica came into play, his use became different as well for me. Next one versus live. Now introducing C-Dom. I think FLidica C-Dom is like too easy in a way. So I don't usually like featuring it too much. Not a max book on C-Dom. I have all my max books on everyone else. Ideally you should do it, but in my C-Dom comps, I generally don't find that I need the extra soul because of the skills and the new soul, how the soul mechanics work, that you gain the soul even on a soul burn.
Insignificant. Witness my power.
Fall. And never get back on your feet.
Good thing that most Falconer Clearies don't usually go with an immunity set. So resetting a Falconer Clear on this team was really good for FLidica, as you saw.
This is hard.
Although FLidica or F-Clear does turn cycle really quick, so you want to finish her off really fast if you plan to use some sort of comp like this.
Please, over here.
No Rowana.
I'll be your opponent.
On this comp, most people do run Rowana with Tempest, but you know, that has its own flaws too, so there's nothing wrong with this comp. Again, you guys see a lot of Guild War I do Singelica RB, usually a strip, some kind of Bazaar or something, into FCC's T-Siren. very solid. A lot of Moonlight Dreamblade proc as you can see here, but it's still very solid comp.
I will show you the
That one
power
knocked
of
out T-Serum out of her stealth, so she's dead here.
Look at me. Let's play together.
And again, no Rowana, so the dual attack from Angelica is very harmless.
Can I go home?
I didn't bother. I was gonna go for the Immortal. It should have been good here because that lightning could have kept her alive, but it didn't matter. It was over. C-Dom, FLidica. It's kind of like too easy. A lot of damage output, a lot of CR boosts. Squirtle Bro.
This is only a
Kind of interesting. When I saw this team comp, I'm like, okay, it's another interesting one. So as you can see, as I'm evolving my comps and just to seeing what's viable again, having the Bassar push back while I have a CR boost gives my RB some leeway in terms of gear. So my RB here, I believe, is my high cleave RB, which is slower speed, not like the 200T type, but on attack boot, so 5k attack, 290 crit damage. I went with this one just because I didn't have a defense break. We got like technically 3 tanks, so FLidica, FCC, and Alencia. And again, I would probably go for FLidica here. Yeah, I do. FLidica's defense break and provoke and strip is too good. Especially right now, I have no one damaged, so the risks are high. Don't know which one's gonna go for. So FLidica took it. She's dead. I think she was the Aureus holder here. Adamant shield on the FCC.
I'll shatter.
Yeah, broke the skill null. Alencia is a bit risky, but she's blinded, so I was like taking that chance. If she killed me, it was a portrait Alencia, which is kind of interesting.
Do you know who I am? Okay, let's go.
You're welcome.
Unbuffable from Bassar is very good.
Please.
Bassar is just still a really annoying hero.
Are you here to capture me?
Yeah, see the ML Angelica into T-Serum again, really no problem.
Let's get warmed up.
I don't think in these ones actually show it going against Rowana, because if for Rowana T-Serum comps, I usually just go with without FLidica, just Bassar straight. Bassar, Tenebria, Angelica, and RB, and that usually just takes care of everything. But since this is a FLidica showcase, I was obviously still choosing targets that I feel that FLidica would be the best in. So FLidica here now in the video is level 53.
That was nothing.
Still level 53. Let's try that.
Your faith in me.
I don't will anymore though.
I thought I was finally free.
They sure are persistent. Please.
Okay, Barrier came back up.
Sometimes darkness can become your light.
I don't really need
Are you here to
immunity
capture me?
prevention, but I guess I'll go for ML Crawl.
I'm never going back.
Save it for a Genshin Impact.
I'm all ready. Unleash my power.
All that's left is ruin.
Dark Blade. You think you can defeat me?
Okay, no damage on first hit.
Witness my power.
Alexis. That's kind of good. Kind of fortunate.
Descending Blade.
And never get back on your feet.
Okay. Baited. So FLidica is safe. Okay.
Can't you handle this?
This is a waste though. But
Please.
This is hard.
Stop them. I'm here.
if ML Crawl was built, I just use it for this fight.
Are you confident? All is done.
I thought I was finally free.
Insignificant.
Dark blade.
I will lend you the power.
Wait, I didn't kill the FCC? Oh, wow. I didn't kill him through that barrier? What had happened?
Systems online. Let's go, Siegfried.
I think I could still lose then. I thought I killed him.
Very interesting.
Okay, no way you're surviving Vivian.
I'll be your opponent.
Over here.
Don't talk to me.
Well, at least I survived, I guess.
Alright, versus Anax? Anax? Inax? So another one with a Bazaar. Mainly because I didn't know like how fast that Bazaar was, but I was confident with my FLidica speed. So I wanted to get the push back. So CR boost, push back on my team, and then I have a speed buff on RB. So again, going with high cleave, high damage RB wouldn't, you know, I would most likely get the turn, and there's still an opportunity for me to reset the Bazaar. I think it was an idle cheer on the Tempest. So idle cheer on the I don't know why I did this actually. I didn't read it properly. I think it was an idle cheer on this. Yeah, it was idle cheer. So she got her turn. It was a bit risky because if my RB is silenced, then I don't get the damage I need. But I wasn't silenced because I want to kill off the Bazaar quick. Because otherwise my Singelica loses the buff, and her buff versus Tempest is really good. Again, I guess I was wrong. I did fight Rowana team, which you guys will see now. Singelica versus Rowana, even the dual attack doesn't really stop
Out of my way.
the comp. Like I said, I do use Tenebria instead of FLidica here. Bazaar Tenebria is usually enough. And then now, no matter what, because RB is full health, Singelica will always be the target for Tempest until she gets her turn cycling back for her S3. Now that won't happen unless she gets Arnell, because again, yeah, as I'm taking out targets, there's more and more likelihood my RB will do his S1 and hit 2 targets, and one of them will be Tempest, which has a lot of effects. Of course, you got the pushback, you got high damage. So yeah, this is the pure damage. This is my pure damage RB. I don't really run speed RBs anymore. I don't feel they have a really place in the meta at this point. I mean, everything can change once there's different heroes introduced, but I think in RTA, RTA, everything almost, like going speed RBs is pointless.
Well, at least I survived, I guess.
I won't.
VRFS. Let's get to feature the Melissa. As you guys saw in the Guild War, the speed tuning is just right this time. So it was supposed to be, when you saw the Guild War, it was supposed to be Singelica and then Melissa, and then now I got it this time. The speed is too close. I don't usually run them together, but the fact that they have a Tempest makes me want to run
Anything about that brat?
ML Angelica again. Here I could have went for the kill on Rylet, which resets my immortality on Melissa, or the skill for immortality, and then therefore I could cycle a bit better. But I ended up not. I ended up just doing more damage to FCC, chip her down, and then kill the Rylet on the curse. Because no matter what, yeah, Tempest would do this.
The flowers are withering.
So skill null, so free, no damage.
Are you here to capture me?
Oh, I was on, I see, I was on Miss Confile here. You saw the defense break proc onto the Tempest Rune. Miss Confile, also very good Ranger artifact. I feel like the Ranger artifacts, especially the limited artifacts, the Ranger ones have been really good in the past while. Rengar specialty drink, guiding light, Miss Confile. Landy's Wall of Order is not even that bad, as I talked about that being usable in GVG for FLidica. I haven't really used it for damage yet, for the greater attack buff, but for the CR boost for sure. So the ranger ones have been pretty darn good.
Home after I cure this one.
Okay, I can't revive, so Singelica again coming in handy. You saw there. So the Rowana passive doesn't really help against RB, someone who does as much damage as RB, and with Singelica's dual attack. Yeah, Rowana doesn't really help. It was on touch of Rekos as well, so it became harder to kill, but at least the Rowana was a bit slow.
This is hard.
Got that Miss Confile proc there. Very nice.
Sometimes darkness can become your light.
Do you know anything about that brat?
I wanted to kill off the FCC mainly because she was faster, and my defense break, I saw that my timing,
I'll be your opponent.
it was okay for the Rowana.
I have things to do. Enough playing around.
So yeah, Melissa, yeah, this showcase video ends up being talking about every single hero. I think Melissa, I talked to New about Melissa, and his Melissa is really good. It's very good, but I still don't see myself using Melissa outside of Remnant Violet teams right now. Sadly, like mine's not terrible, but it's like I don't know. I don't like her that much.
Are you here to capture
So you won't see me use Melissa on almost anything except Remnant Violet.
Teach me.
The barrier from ML Crow is pretty tough for FLidica. So you strip the barrier from FCC, but then ML Crow re-puts up that barrier. So if you are using FLidica going into ML Crow FCC, but you need the barrier removed, I would definitely not recommend it. I went with a Broman here instead of like my usual. I would use like maybe a Bassar, is because I felt that the just for this one, obviously there's Kayron, but the other thing is that not having Crow do his S3 is very important for my team comp in this one. But again, I am going with like different heroes just to showcase like different things here. Yeah, she went after my RB.
So this should be enough.
So this was kind of like, I was like, ooh, that's kind of risky. Everybody's at full health, so if Kayron decided to S3 my RB, which he's on his still not tank build, but my DPS build, then that still would have been a problem. I still could have died. But he went for FLidica, so it was good. Level 60 now, as you can see. But he missed.
Now it's my turn.
I do use Broman sometimes in these kind of mage cleave comps, but I don't like him as much. The only reason is because the RNG. He has way more RNG
Are
than
you
Bassar.
prepared for this?
AKA Ravi. So we get a Broman in this one. So speed, contend, and I don't know the speeds. Again, I don't rehearse these fights. We'll go for C-Dom just for the safety.
I'm so excited. I will show you. The power
Just the safe that I can get the turns I need.
me. I said look at me.
So this one's a bit tricky as well. I didn't soul burn it on purpose because I wanted to soul burn Ruel. Soul burn the Broman, that is, because I felt that I can kill it with my Spectani if I needed to.
Now is the time for flames.
And I can save the souls here for the cleave.
Interesting. Will you fight me? It won't take long.
Went with the C-Dom protection because she will be my next best source of damage. Since Spectani has immunity, she really can't be stopped here.
Look into my eyes. Say my name.
Sent T-Cern back a bit. And Ruel's cooldowns are way too much. So FLidica versus Ruel, as long as you can, you know, either soul burn it or you know that you have enough effectiveness, which I still wouldn't risk since Ruel's a high effect usually, high effect resist.
Excites me.
It ends up working out well.
You want
Want to try?
Reroll doesn't really work well if FLidica resets her.
The power of Malachus is truly amazing.
The next one,
How cute.
I don't know how to read that. Chinese player, I think. So again, another Broman. We actually stripped all of the barrier, which is really good. And so a C-Dom for me really is to usually only to speed contend, or I needed to nuke out someone at like immediately. This one was kind of funny too. You'll see the kind of tactic I used here. I used Watcher Shuri just because I needed to also make sure I was fast enough. Again, I didn't know his speed, but
Unleash my power.
so we got the immunity buff, we got the skill null.
I'll do everything I can.
So Vivian making a play here, and Watcher Shuri here. I had to kill off Arby. We cannot allow him to have 2 cleaves. Otherwise the skill null is broken and then my whole team is dead. So this ends up being a decent 1-2. No need for Singelica. Just gotta kind of think your way around.
A nightmare.
And of course Tenebria won't do much unless she was a cleaver, which I believe this one was. Yeah, this one was a cleaver. Look at that damage. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a bit risky if you don't have immunity. But yeah, that was a scary one. So I soulburned the Tenebria because I thought that FCC was on an Aureus, so I thought, like, you know, it'll take the full brunt of it, shared damage, but it ended up not being. And it was scary too because she was a cleaver. Oh, sorry, she was a bruiser, so I had to literally kill her with my Vivian. It became a bit risky, but my Vivian hits really hard and pretty tanky, so yeah. Versus Temmie. Okay, now we're using Melissa and Vivian. So Vivian to counter Dizzy and Ambitious Tywin, and C-Dom for the boost.
Look at me. I said look at me. Nixie is the strongest. I'm so excited. I have nothing
Had to chip down the Tywin.
I will not fall.
He would become one of the bigger threats here. Of course, with Dizzy, both of them together would be pretty annoying.
Get out of my way.
So I saw the curse, and I'm like, okay, I kind of wanna keep her immortality. Otherwise, I think I could have chip damage the A Tywin.
I've got nothing to lose.
Resetting the FCC because of the skill null.
Destruction. Answer my
And
call.
because I have immunity, no need to reset Dizzy or Tywin. At this point, I was pretty sure that Dizzy was on a counter too, so I didn't want to hit her. Otherwise, the skill null would have been wasted. And it was on Isla Violin, so it looks like RTA build. And it did strip my immunity on the Vivian there, so it kind of sucked.
Are you here to capture me?
So the missed confile, leaving that nice fat defense break, very, very helpful.
About that brat.
And then I can turn cycle again my immortality. It's counter, and look at that immunity coming in clutch. Really helpful. That violin strip is just crazy.
Stay out of my way.
Now no attack buff on the Vivian though, so it became a bit scary, but the guiding light still kicking in. So I love those ranger artifacts, so good.
Things to do.
And look at that Melissa. Now Melissa looks like she's queen, right? Because Vivian got stunned, got stripped, and now Melissa is going all crazy. So no counter on this skill, and we got a CR boost. And I had no choice but to hit her, and hopefully that she didn't counter. C-Dom had the soul burn perfect, so now this was over.
Look at me. I said look.
So now I know why people love cleaving. It's a dance. It's a real
Don't you see?
dance, you know.
Shouldn't have tested me.
Harmony and chemistry between the heroes, and then it's just a beautiful dance when it actually works out, of course.
Just like we practiced.
We got Arbiter Vildred, and we have Remnant Violet.
Are you here to capture me? Get out of my way.
So this was a bit scary because I didn't know that F clear looked really quick.
Lend you the power to take another's life.
So speed buff, but there's only
You're nothing.
1 out of
Get
3
out my
chance
way.
for that F clear to, you know, strip the right one if I don't even get the skill reset.
My revenge. Do you know anything about that brat?
I was going for RB here. I wanted to kill him off as fast as possible. I knew I couldn't do it,
This is hard.
but I wanted to kill him as fast as possible. I had to soul burn this one.
Warning you.
There was no risk. Like it was too risky here.
Nothing to lose.
Well, my Spectani has a speed buff up, and she is before RB, so there was most likely
Not bad.
the chance that I would have gotten this one.
There's no escape. Ever.
I'll shatter. Your pride.
Prophetic Candlestick, we're very good on MLNG. Sometimes I put on Celestine, sometimes Shamadra's Staff. It depends on the fight. Very rarely though, those two. But Prophetic Candlestick's usually my go-to.
Don't come near me.
Spectani, I need to look into her, rebuilding her again.
Finally free. Almost.
I have some ideas on her. She's worked so far. She's like you know, she does what she needs to do. But I want to rework on her.
Anybody there? Try harder.
Speed her up mainly. Speed her up, but keep the damage similar. Because I'm using her more and more with more
Stay out of my way.
like cleave in mind. So like to make sure that she gets the
You
turn.
aren't even fit to kiss my feet. Well, at least I survived, I guess. Show your elders
So
some
Alex and Theo. And Cedar, Melissa. So you see I dropped a lot of Melissa into the Remnant Violets.
Here to capture me.
I know a lot of people do the F Cleary, but I mean, when there's like Broman on the team as well, I don't know. It depends on their Broman speed, I guess. But yeah, F Cleary could be a risk. But if FLidica is really well built, then you can fight these teams like this, I guess.
I'll put them
I wanted to soul burn that one for sure, because I feel that there was only really 2 risks, Broman and Remnant Violet. Although Alencia's should not be, you know, underestimated. They do a lot of damage on the cleaving skill if built well.
This is hard.
This one was a pretty bad one just because again they had immunity, so I couldn't reset anyone. But because there was a curse on Remnant Violet, I felt that I could have, you know, just damaged the Alencia. She was the next damage threat, really. I went for the FCC there on purpose because I wanted her to get the barrier and not Alencia. Yeah, I did a lot of damage, and it actually stripped my Melissa as well. Crit rate buff was gone, so my Cedon would be pretty useless unless I got a lucky crit. Confile coming in handy again. And we get the blind.
Don't come near me. I'm so excited.
No crit. Well, on a crit, they would have been dead, but no crit. Went for Melissa. And the lightning caught me. So this one was pretty much Spectani carry solo. Scuffed stuff.
All that's left is ruin.
Yet. So I went with my Remnant Violet here, which I regret, because I forgot my speed tuning on my Remnant Violet. It is quicker than my ML Angie. So ideally it would have been ML Angie first, so I could kill off the RB in one shot. And I knew I wouldn't kill him off with the S1 there. So I went with that, hoping to blind him. Didn't get it.
Can become your light.
Do you know anything about that brat? I will not forfeit.
But it wasn't over because Melissa does get 2 turns. So I saw like the damage wasn't like really good on the,
Nothing to
or there was like no Aureus, so I could have killed the Arbor here for free.
die.
So it was a, I think it was a Holy Sacrifice crawl.
This is hard. I'm never going back. Stop chasing me!
I'm charging.
Are you here to capture me?
How long do you think you can last? Your pitiful resistance ends here.
I hate getting hurt.
I will shape my own future. Over here.
Finish this.
This one being a long one too because I didn't. So I wanted to basically turn cycle, so that's why I didn't kill off the Rowana.
I was finally free.
I wanted to turn cycle the immortality on Melissa.
Over here.
Now Rowan is out. I can do attack for free.
Stay out of my way. I told you I need to get out of here.
Fear is how others control you.
You're nothing. Get out of my way.
Let's see how long you can endure.
Please. Don't talk to me.
Are you here to capture me?
To come to think of it, I don't know if that crowd was actually geared. Maybe it wasn't geared and didn't have even have. No, it was geared. It was speedy.
All right. What is our next objective?
All that's left.
The
is
Sola.
Stay out of my way. Get out of my way.
Moonlight Dreamblade RB. I was like, oh
Sometimes
no. A lot of people now running Moonlight Dreamblade RB.
your light.
I was lucky too because you know, I mean, the thing is that there's no FCC on this team, so the strip was good. So if they had immunity, possibly strip, and then you can go Tenebria.
This is hard.
So I went for the Lilius here because I did not want her to somehow cleanse those debuffs. Those debuffs are too good. The defense break. So in this case, it's like it doesn't matter who she goes for, even if she goes for my Angelica, which didn't work. I resisted it.
Generous record.
So at this point, because
Please protect us.
the RB was dead, so even if that F clearly stripped my Angelica, it wouldn't have mattered. But mainly, I didn't want the defense break to leave.
You may try to defy me.
Tenebria is super solid. I love her a lot.
I'll be your opponent.
Chaos.
Well, at least I survived, I guess.
Step back.
Versus Kali. So as I'm using FLidica for the showcase, I had, you know, climbed the arena pretty high. So you guys are now seeing like just, although this isn't when these fights were recorded, it was after the season. So this is pre-season. So it's less sweaty. So it's not gonna really reflect like legend, you know, like what real legend players would be running on defense, but like most of these players were always high champ and like low legend anyway. So it's like, yeah, take it with a grain of salt with the comps I'm using here. But it was fun. It was definitely fun, and just the gear level from like a champ 5, champ 4 to like a legend 6, legend 5, and I know as it goes higher, of course, it's crazier. It scales up really quick actually, and there's a reason why those players can stay high legend. The gear gap is just too huge. But I think like once you get a big enough roster, like what I'm displaying here, I think there's a lot of flexibility and kind of workarounds to people's defenses, and the next thing you have to do is worry about the gear gap. And I think that's actually what's happening in most of RTA right now as well.
Are you here to capture me?
It's gear gap isn't as much as a thing as a pick and ban phase, so like lower geared players can still beat really well geared players just because the strategy, you can work around them, so to speak. You can work around them and they would you know, do well. Alexa's basket on that K-Ron. Surprised I haven't seen Alexa's defense K-Ron in a really long time.
Now is the time for flames. Here I go.
Had to proc him an immortal as fast as possible. That was the whole objective. The only problem right now is that he would kill my FLidica.
Can I go home after I taste the darkness?
So for this one, I had to keep this Angelica alive since her being alive right now is like probably the most important. We still have the skill knot on this Blaze Dingo, although I've been blinded. That's the main problem here.
You want to try me?
And we just have to wait out K-Ron one more turn. My Spectenny is pretty tanky, and as I am stacking her passive, she is way more tanky. She has a 1500 defense, just from the gear alone. So
You want to stop now that I've won? How about no?
so Legend 5.
Now isn't the time to hesitate.
Waifu? Is he going for waifu? Maybe he's going for waifu on purpose. I actually never read it. I always read like Ifu or something like that. Again, using the Aux Lots CDOM. Save this for last because this one's like the most well-known kind of cleave, like the most bread and butter cleave. I think for like high damage cleave, no need for immunity, that kind of stuff. High damage, high burst damage.
It is my duty.
Since the barrier already procced on FLidica's S3 or S2, ML Crowd can't do it anymore because he didn't get a turn. I have the soul burns.
Show you the power of Nixie.
So I think I go for Ruel here. I'm commentating this after the fact, but I think I do go for it. Yeah, I did go for it for the chip damage first, and then soul burn on Ruel, right?
All systems online. Let's go, Siegfried.
So now immunity buff is up, so that it becomes a bit trickier for the K-Ron. But I do have a crit buff, and that's still 30% CR cut. And mainly for my for CDOM. So I was just looking at what to kill off next, and it's actually things really helpful here, as each kill gives me the CR that you have it upgraded to. I think it's 16 at plus 30, 16% CR on a kill, plus 30. CDOM now has become the stronger damage dealer without J-Kisei's S2 in the mix. So I attack buffed her.
I was finally free.
I am the strongest. I will
So just a lot of turn cycling. I mean, this is why this comp is used. Even in RTA, some cleavers do drop this exact thing, and then they have like another bait.
This is a small victory. Our battle will continue.
So back to D-Sola again. I didn't even know if I attacked him before, but I'm using a different comp on this one, so I thought I'd show it. FLidica, Aux Lots, J-Kisei, CDOM, quite a popular one. I wanted to showcase this one because I wanted to, just in case players didn't know about the CR boost, but as you know that CDOM does get 10% CR boost per crit. So on this one, you see this. As I'm killing RB, I don't think I kill him here, if I remember correctly how this plays out. There's Adamant Shield, there's Aureus. Yeah, I don't kill him here.
Die.
But you see RB revived, and Sidom still gets her turn because I have Sasha Ethanes on as well. So on each kill, you're gaining CR. So RB CR is where his current CR is, and then plus 100% CR when he dies. So because obviously as I'm stacking CR, the RB wouldn't be able to cut. So that's why the FLidica with J Kisei and Sasha Ethanes, the Ranger artifact, really helps here. I wanted to showcase this one just as a technical strategy.
Our battle will continue.
So you can outcut RB's revive, just it takes some work. Alright, so that's it for my FLidica showcase. I think in RTA, if you draft her, she might be pre-banned, she might be instantly banned, but she's a really good hero, and people know that she's very deadly. Even if you don't go for a cleave comp, she actually kind of works with like you know, when I use the blue rose type of fights as well. So you can almost like double pick like an FLidica with a rose, and you kind of like wean off your original cleave comp in order to counter theirs, and FLidica would still be annoying just because CR boost, skill null, she got strip, and you have a skill reset. So it just like in general, she's just really annoying to deal with. And if you have her high speed, high effectiveness, that's even more disgusting. If you got some tankiness in there, that's even more. But that's asking maybe too much, unless you just got the best speed gears, of course, in the game. For these big showcase videos, I definitely want to thank my Patreon supporters supporting me through Patreon, as they know about these projects as I'm making the videos. I tell them, hey, I'm doing this, and generally they have some feedback as well as my Patreon family. So I want to give them a shout out on this video. Legacy, Azure, Deekboy, Hippie, RG Fua, Stone Thunder, and Torn B. Thank you guys as well, just in general, for supporting me month on month. If you guys are interested in seeing what my Patreon has to offer, feel free to check that out. It will be in the link in the description box below. But outside of that, I think in those clips, my favorite fight was the last one versus RB. So J Kisei, Aux Lots, Sidom, FLidica versus RB. Just multiple crits with Sasha Ethanes proccing and not allowing RB to get the CR. You're not gonna really get that kind of luck because it depends on their defense. Like two of those, I would say J Kisei and Aux Lots don't work on all the defenses now that are featured, but FLidica and Sidom are always like a kind of really good pairing, as people do draft them again in RTA as well if they want to go with the FLidica cleave. I think usually the three main picked ones are FLidica, Aux Lots, Sidom, and then maybe an RB or a J Kisei or a Earth Vildred or something like another, like two cleavers basically. Two cleavers, Sidom, FLidica, and Aux Lots. Usually if you can cleave those comps in RTA, those would be the picks. But anyways, hopefully that was entertaining. I'm gonna end this here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.